Hello, hi. All right, so welcome. I see some of y'all are already here. Okay, hi, welcome. Welcome to our meeting. Okay, I'll give us about another minute for everybody to log in. Hi. I hope y'all are having a great day so far. All right. So as we're waiting, let me ask y'all, are y'all all from Texas? Like, where are y'all getting connected from? I want to know. So you can turn on your microphone, put it on the chat, whatever you want. Okay, I see people putting, yes, from Texas. Okay. Where in Texas? If you are from Texas, where in Texas? Okay, San Antonio. All right, I see a couple of people from Houston. Okay. All right. Okay, hi, welcome. If you're logging in, welcome. Okay. All right, yeah, and if you'd like to, if you don't mind turning on your camera for me, that'd be great. I want to see some faces. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Okay. But first, before we start, I want to show you a picture, okay? I want to show you guys a picture. And give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, so I want you to look at that picture and I want you to tell me, where do you think this kid is? Where is he at? We see that he's reading a book. Where do you think he is? Okay, and just like before, if you want to turn on your microphone, if you want to put it in the chat, your answer, there's no right or wrong answer, of course. It's just me wanting to know, where do you think this kid is? Okay. All right, and we have somebody raising their hand. Yes, Miss Sonia, where do you think it is? This kid is. He's in school. Okay, yes, thank you. All right, I see some people put school on the chat. Library also. Okay. I have a classroom as well. Okay. All right, so thank you for sharing that. Okay, so the point that I want to make with this, with me showing you this picture and asking you where do you think this kid is because we usually tend to relay learning in school. Okay, we learn where? In school. Okay, that's the place that we go to learn. Okay, and today you are here in this meeting because I'm going to talk about homeschooling. All right, so I'm going to talk about homeschooling to let you know that no, that kid does not have to be always at school or at the library. However, of course, he might be, but he can also be at home, okay, learning. So I'm going to talk to you about homeschooling today. So just before, just a little something, homeschooling is just another educational system, okay? So I want you to think of like all the different education systems there are, right? We have public school, which is, the one that we always know, the popular one, public school. There's private school, there's online learning, and we have homeschool as well. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you about that today. All right, so here I have a link. I'm gonna share it with y'all. And I want y'all to click on that link, okay? Whether you're on your phone or your laptop, I want you to click on it. And we're gonna be looking at, excuse me, a question. It's basically a little poem, okay? And let me go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see. Oh, sorry, hold on. what everybody's answering, okay? So let me go ahead and open that up for you. Okay. See, give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so here we are. Is homeschooling only taught at home? Okay, so what do you think? Yes or no? Okay, we have a yes there. Okay. All right. Okay, so I see a lot of people, the majority put at home. Okay, that homeschooling is only taught at home. However, that is not the case. Okay, I know that can be a myth about homeschooling, that we think that it's only taught at home, but no, homeschooling is education that is taught at home, but it also means that the kid gets to interact and go outside of his house to learn about the subject that he's learning that day or that week. Okay, so homeschooling does not mean it's taught at home. It doesn't mean that it's 100% taught at home. I mean, it could be a little deceiving with the fact that it is called homeschooling, right? But homeschooling means that the parent or the guardian is in charge of the education that their son or daughter has. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, and if we think about it, like one of the things that happens in public schools is, you know, there's not a lot of funding for field trips. Okay, taking, you know, 30, 40 kids on a field trip gets expensive. So that's why it doesn't happen as often as we would like it to happen, right? However, in homeschooling, you have the opportunity to, you know, take out your kid to the science museum if, you know, you're teaching them a lesson about science. You know, go to a local history museum if you're, you know, talking about social studies or history, they're learning about history. So it really means that you have the flexibility to be able to take your kid out into the real world and have a hands-on experience with whatever the topic is that they're learning. Okay, so oh, there's okay, hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, all right, so now let's go ahead and go to the next slide and let's answer the next question. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen again. Okay, all right, so the next one that we have, and this is a statement, okay, and it says homeschooling is only for religious families. Okay, what do you think? Yes, no? Okay, all right, I'll wait for some people to. All right, we have a yes there. Okay. All right, okay. All right, so we got some yeses, we had some no's. Okay, so a lot of people tend to think that, you know, homeschooling is only for religious families, okay? Or that is the demographic that homeschooling was made for. However, that is not true, okay? You know, surveys have shown that religion has no effect in homeschooling, okay? And it can be for any family, okay? It can be for any family regarding, you know, it doesn't matter their religion, okay? So it's not that homeschooling is only for religious family. Yes, we do have some religious families that do homeschooling, but that is not always the case, okay? Okay, all right, so next one that we have, we can go to the next slide. Let me go ahead and share that for y'all. Okay. Send really quick. Okay, so now it says homeschooling is only for gifted or naturally intelligent children. Okay, So what do you think? Yes? No? Okay. All right, we have a no there. Okay. All right, so we got a couple of no's, a couple of yeses. So yeah, so the thing is, you can have a gifted child in the homeschooling program, or you may not. Okay, so homeschooling, the good thing about homeschooling is that it can benefit an array of children. Okay, so let's say that you have a gifted child. Okay, you know, a lot of times what happens at their public school is the fact that, you know, a teacher cannot just be with this one kid. Okay, maybe they went through the lesson really quickly, they finished all their worksheets, they did all their work, but the teacher also needs to focus on the other children, right? So your kid might be bored, your kid might start misbehaving, you know, because he's not challenged enough, or he's become bored, he needs to do something else. So that could benefit a gifted child. The homeschooling program can benefit a gifted child, but it can also benefit somebody that has a learning disability, because again, we're in this classroom, 20 plus kids, the teacher cannot just focus on one child. You know, they have to focus on everybody. Give their time to every student. Okay, so if you know that your child is having some difficulty, maybe your child has a learning disability, what better way than to homeschool them so that they can have that one-on-one interaction, okay? And on the other side, if your child is gifted, hey, you're gonna be able to move along as they are learning. If you see they already reached this level, you know, in a public school, they would have had to stay there, right? However, if you see them, they reach this level, hey, you're able to push them more and more, right? So that way, it can benefit everybody, okay? Learning disability, no learning disability, gifted and talented, benefits everybody, okay? Okay, all right, so moving on to the next one. Again, let me present. Okay, so now this one says, do you think you're qualified to teach? Okay, do you think you're qualified to teach? All right, so already I'm getting a lot of no's, okay? All right, no, okay. We had a little, somebody mentioned a little. Okay, all right, so I think one of the greatest fears of homeschooling is, you know, for you as a parent is, hey, I'm not a teacher. How am I qualified to teach? I didn't go to school for that. Like, how is this going to work? Okay, so think back to when your child was a baby. Who taught them how to walk? Who taught them how to talk? You know, who taught them how to speak correctly? And this is before they went to school, okay? You did, you taught them. You were their first teacher. Maybe you didn't even realize it, or you don't see yourself as a teacher, but that's what you were. You were their teacher. So the good thing about homeschooling is that you're never going to be alone, okay? Even if you're afraid or you think that, you know, how am I gonna do this? There are online programs that give you the curriculum for you to be able to know exactly what to teach them. There's groups of families that do homeschooling. And so, you know, do not be afraid. However, if you are afraid, if you say, you know what, like, no, like this is too hard, like how, you know, I want my child to like get the best education they can, remember that there are alternatives to homeschooling, okay? Within the same homeschooling, okay? I'm talking about public school or private school. No, I'm talking about homeschooling. So you don't have to teach them yourself. You could send your child to somebody that does homeschooling, another parents that were former teachers. You can put up your child in an online homeschooling program where they log in, they interact with other students around the country, etc. Okay, so do not worry, okay? If you think you can't, or if you'd rather somebody else, you have options, okay? But if you do think, if you feel ready, to be the one to teach your children, then you're definitely capable, because you were their first teacher. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay. All right. So, just a little recap of what we learned today. I hope y'all learned today. But homeschooling has a lot of benefits. Okay. And it's a great program if you're trying to look for an alternative to the, also popular public school system, right? And, the thing about homeschooling, especially now in 2022, there are a lot of resources, online. There are a lot of books that you can buy, just thinking from 1999 to this year, 2022, homeschooling has doubled in size. And, now it's a lot of different families, all sorts of families, all sorts of ethnicities. Okay, so don't think that this, is for somebody in particular, a family in particular. No, this is for everybody and anyone. And it has grown so much. Like I'm telling you, it has doubled in size. Okay, so I just want you to be aware of that. The good thing also about homeschooling is it's a flexible school system, right? It's very flexible. You get to choose the hours. You get to, hey, today we've been talking about this topic the whole week. How about we take a field trip? Or how about we go out to the park, have a little experiment, or collect some data and learn about that. So, it's a very interactive type of learning that, kind of brings out the child's creativity and curiosity about the world. Because a lot of times, and really think about your child, think about do you think this would be a great fit for them? Is the public school system not really working out? And like I mentioned before, your kid does not have to be gifted. Your kid does not have to have a learning disability. This is for everybody. It can benefit everybody, okay? So, just be aware of that. And also, you're not alone. If you don't think that you're going to be able to do it, or you don't want to do it, you don't have the time to do it, hey, that's okay. There are different ways that you can do homeschooling. You can teach them. You can have somebody else teach them. You can have them in an online program. Okay, so it's really up to you. And like I said, homeschooling is flexible. It adapts to your schedule and your lifestyle. Okay, that's the great thing about this. Okay, so when you were signing in or signing into the meeting, I did ask for your email and your name. So I'll be getting back to y'all in the next few days. See if you're interested. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. Okay, so I hope you learned today in this homeschooling 101, and I hope you have a great day.